Hello everybody, Mark, aka The Nerdy Punk, back again tonight for a new video. Tonight we are at the movie theater. I actually just got out of seeing Avatar: The Way of Water. So, it's been 2 weeks, I think, since the movie released. I wanted to watch it opening weekend, but I got busy that weekend, and then the next week I got COVID. So, I am free of all of that. Maybe it's been 3 weeks. Jeez, I don't know. But it's been a while since this movie released. I finally got a chance to see it. I avoided spoilers. Although, to be honest, I feel like spoilers would have been obvious, if that makes any sense. I will not spoil the film for you, but I do feel like the plot, which is gonna see a lot of criticism, has seen a lot of criticism, is extremely predictable. I mean, it follows a very specific formula. And from what I've seen from critics, that is the most harped upon criticism of this movie, is the plot and the story and the script. And I think that's absolutely warranted. It's the same thing that held the first Avatar movie back. However, my overall opinion of this movie is very positive. I really enjoyed this movie. Yes, the script is simplistic. The story idea is relatively simplistic. It's something that we've seen before many, many times. I don't care. It's still delivered emotionally. It made me tear up on occasion throughout the third act of the movie. So it was definitely emotionally hard-hitting, even though it's not the most inventive thing in the world. And it delivered on the aspects of the plot that it needed to. Now, I will say there were several holes in the plot, several things that I thought were poor choices. There is I don't think it's really a spoiler to say this, there is a human character in the story. There's actually a few human characters, but the most notable one is a part of this new kind of gang family that Jake Sully has on Pandora. I did not like his character at all. I couldn't stand him. I thought it was a really bizarre choice, bizarre story to tell, at least that aspect of it. I wasn't a huge fan of it. Nothing against the actor or the performance. I didn't really feel any connection to that character. The other characters, though, I thought were really well done. I liked the story that they chose to tell. I liked the subtext. Of course, I revisited the first Avatar movie before I got COVID a couple weeks ago when I thought I was going to go watch the movie. And I've forgotten, or it's just that I'm a different person now because I watched that movie. The last time I watched it was probably at least a decade ago. I mean, it came out in 2009. It's a 13-year gap between this and the sequel. So it could be that I just didn't pick up on it because I was a completely different moviegoer back in 2009, if I watched it in 2009 for the last time. I can't remember exactly, like I said. I picked up on the subtext a lot more in my rewatch, and there's a lot of subtext in Avatar. It is pretty on the nose, pretty straightforward, and that's why the first one got that criticism of the plot. But I really loved the subtext of the first one, about colonialism and, how we treat indigenous populations. This one also has some subtext involved too. Completely liked that, completely agreed with it. I think if more people actually listened to this movie and understood it, the world would be a better place. So I thank James Cameron for making a multi-billion-dollar movie that has messages of environmentalism and just reaching out to our fellow man without, trying to kill each other, basically. I think that's an incredible message. So I really enjoyed that. Again, it's kind of on the nose. If you were like a veteran moviegoer like me, and not to make myself out to be this big expert or anything, I haven't seen nearly as many movies as other people have, but I consider myself to be a little bit more of an advanced moviegoer than the average moviegoer. I go to the movies dozens of times a year, whereas normal people probably go to the movies a lot less frequently than I do, but nonetheless, I feel like it was pretty on the nose, but I liked it. Visuals. I can't believe I've been talking for 5 minutes and I haven't talked about the visuals. This is the number one selling point of this movie. Sorry. I mean, that was the whole selling point of the first one, Pandora, and the avatars, the people themselves, you know, all of this visual effects work. It's just incredible. And they took it up a notch in this one. I mean, in the first movie, half of the movie takes place in the human world and half of it takes place in the Na'vi world. And this movie is almost exclusively on Pandora, and the visuals are absolutely stunning. I mean, you got just an incredible display of what CGI can do, and with a talented director like James Cameron behind it, how amazing technology has gotten and how beautiful those shots were. I loved the visuals, obviously, as everybody does. That's the main selling point of this movie. So, my overall thoughts, grade on Avatar: The Way of Water, I'm going to give it 4 stars out of 5. Certainly a phenomenal piece of filmmaking, phenomenal piece of work with, you know, just a few minor complaints. There's some things that I just didn't quite jive with me, that I wasn't as impressed by, other than, of course, the visuals. So, grade-wise, I'm thinking around an 80% for Avatar: The Way of Water. Fantastic movie. If, for some reason, like myself earlier, you haven't had a chance to go out to the theater to see this, definitely make it a point to go do that, because this is definitely a theater movie. You want to see this on the biggest screen possible. So, with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video. Have an amazing night, guys. I will check in with you later. Bye.